Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
How do you let him do that? But if it was a nation of Islam, it wouldn't even be so cordial. They have one language for Zaddy, and they have a completely different language for us. They have one language for them and a totally different language for us. This is crazy, man. This is absolutely nuts. Let's keep watching, yo.
Multiculturalism, but I'm also against Zionist Western imperial wars that try to impose the modern Judeo-American liberal democracy upon other countries.
And as a pan-Islamic Muslim, a white English Muslim is closer to me in this life and the next than a fellow Bengali, my parents are from Bangladesh, who's a Hindu or an atheist. Literally, that is my brother. That Englishman is my brother in this life and next. Our children can marry. We can eat each other's food without questioning is it halal or not. And that's my brother. That's my people. In terms of priority first.
Yes.
Yeah. But would you regard the 312,000, according to the census 2021, 312,000 English, Northern Irish, Welsh and Scottish Muslims as your people?
Did you hear that question?
You're weird.
Did you hear that? This is what they want. Didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all this is what they want. Family, the Nation of Islam has never, ever, ever had a history of discounting white Muslims from the Brotherhood of Islam. Never. But these folks have the most to say about the Nation of Islam. They have a real live white supremacist in their face. And they're trying to put it in a way, trying to pull on his heartstrings. What do you think is the white supremacist going to say, y'all? Well, sure, yeah, we love the brownies. Like, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Why would you go to your enemy and our enemy and the enemy of Allah and ask the enemy of Allah who is there, as your guest, mind you, on your podcast, if you would consider British Muslims to a Kafir white supremacist your brothers? Are you dumb?
That's stupid.
Are you dumb? This has got to be, honestly, out of all the pathetic things I've ever seen, this has to be the top 10 in the Islamic sphere. Has to be top 10 and the absolute pathetic things I've seen on video. He went through this long speech. You know, if a white Muslim was a white Muslim and he's Muslim and he's white and I'm Bengali, he'd be closer to me than my Bengali people who are Hindu. He would be my brother. He'd be my brother. Do you consider us white Muslims who are British and Scottish and Irish your brother? What do you think this Zaddy going to say? What do you think he's going to say? Well, I don't know, but let's hear, shall we?
That's difficult. I think white Muslims are people. In an ideal world, I don't want white English men or women converting to Islam.
Well, you don't say. And this is what the white supremacist does. They always try to be diplomatic because they're liars. The white supremacist is a liar. And like I said, there's a verse in the Bible, the devil is a liar. He was a liar from the beginning and a murderer. That's these folks, these white supremacists. Like, how do you not know? How do you not know? Shall we watch the rest? This is crazy, man. Let's see what he says about the exceptions to the rule. Because, you know, they always have to have an exception because they're doing politics. They doing politics. They've been doing this colonial thing. They mastered this colonialism thing. Tell the people what they want to hear. Like, this is pathetic, y'all. Anyways.
Be honest. But I understand why it's happening.
Why?
Oh, that's a simple. That's one of the simple.
And this is why he's invited to 5 Pillars. This is why. Remember we said white supremacy is not a red zone for these folks. Saying the N-word is not a red zone for these folks. Hating black folk is not a red zone for these folks. Nothing is off the table. If they can get Zaddy to say something nice about Islam, they will blow them up. So what's he going to say? Let's see. We'll see what Mark Collatte's going to say.
Simplest things you could ask me. I was actually talking about this on a stream the other night. I talk about Islam as being morally, at the moment, very strong. Muslims...
That's all they want to hear. That's why they invite Jordan Peterson. That's why they invite Mark Collette. That's why they invite Owen Benjamin and every single person who can say the N-word. Jake Shields. It don't make a difference. We want you to be white supremacists and say something nice about Islam. You don't have to be Muslim. As a matter of fact, it's better if you're not Muslim, because the Muslims, we have to kind of, it's a taboo in our community to side with white supremacy, but you can be the white supremacist and say something nice about Islam. You get it? That's the hustle. That's the game. And then you have all these brownies and all these Arabs, and they're running up to these platforms trying to get into where they fit in and say nigga, 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 nigga on their social media platforms as well with their Muslim names. And they have the nerve to tell you that they are your Muslim brothers? No, thank you. No, thank you. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient. Allah is enough for us. Keep your goddamn brotherhood. Run behind the riches and the wealth and the weaponry and the rhetoric and the pseudoscience of your white supremacist zaddies. Go follow them. But never in your life consider us your Muslim brothers. Never. You need to make Toba, and you need to make open Toba. And even after that, it still wouldn't be enough. This is treacherous beyond treachery. We said this time and time and time again. Notice, even in the comment section of Owen Benjamin's channel, you saw the Muslim saying nigga, right? You saw that, right? We put it out there. Remember a couple of months ago, we put a video, the white supremacist Muslim who was using hadith to say that this hadith promotes white supremacy and the supremacy of the white race, even though he doesn't believe in the hadith, this Ashari Maturidi guy, the hadith of the slave girl. Remember we said that? Muslims love a racist white man. The immigrants anyways. They love themselves a racist white man. They idolize these guys. You see them on all their pages and on the channels and stuff, like bottom feeding grovelers, man. And all they have to do, all these white supremacists have to do, they just post some vague garbage about support in Palestine, or talking about how Muslims are based, and like how Mark Collette said, Muslims are highly moral or whatever. And they'll invite them to their channels. Oh, Allah bless you, Allah guide you, Allah. And the second a black person talking about black issues, brother, there's no racism in Islam. There's no color in Islam. I don't see color in Islam. There's no black and white. We're all brothers in Islam. Now come and clean our toilets in this masjid. To love one is to hate the other. Don't think we are out here begging for brotherhood and biscuits. Allah is enough. Allah is enough. Imagine today if I was to invite Benjamin Netanyahu to the features because he says something nice about African American Muslims. Would y'all accept that? No Muslim on earth would accept that. Not a single Muslim. It don't make a difference. Why? Because to love Benjamin Netanyahu necessitates the hatred of the Palestinian people. And to love and to compliment and to coddle and to support a white supremacist necessitates your hatred of black people. You cannot love one and love the other at the same time in the same reality. It's not going to work. These YouTubian elites, they are the white supremacist CPR squad. You know when those people, the medics, they come and you're having a heart attack, or you just you're drowning or something like that, and you're nobody thinking about you. Here come the YouTubian elites to invite you to their platforms. Remember when Jordan Peterson, all the Muslims were finished with Jordan Peterson. All of them. Who invited Jordan Peterson to their platform to revive his career? Was it not Muhammad Hijab? The CPR squad for white supremacists, these YouTubian elites. Breathing life into the dead careers of white supremacists everywhere. Your Muslim media moguls, them folks. No conversion necessary. No, don't convert to Islam. Please don't. We just need you to whisper some sweet nothings into the ears of millions of immigrant children and brownies and Arabs and all this kind of stuff about the niceness about Islam and we know how Islam is so good and blah 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 blah, and we will send you millions of followers from our platforms. That's all we got to do. Where's Sajid? Where's Wajdi? Remember Wajdi? Oh, it seems like you want to talk about racial issues instead of Muslim issues. Where is he? Never had a refutation he didn't like. Where is he now? Where's Musa Richardson? Remember he did that whole thing on Tahir Wyatt when Sheikh Imam, Dr. Tahir Wyatt went to the Nation of Islam radio program. Here come Musa Richardson with like over an hour long refutation. And how come Sheikh Tahir didn't press the Nation of Islam on their Aqidah and the white man and the devil and this and this and that? Where are they? Nowhere to be found. We, the black Muslim grassroots, we have to do this work now. We have to do this work. Because those folks are brave against the oppressed.
Paper gold. You see, black folks are chumps. If America were to tell you to bring all the rocks in this country to her, and she'll give you $1 million for it, you'll do it. And the next day she'll tell you we're using rocks for currencies, chump.